Kobe's mother is still walking. She's still with us. Vanessa Bryant, are you going to take care of Kobe's mom? Kobe's gone. His father's gone. What about his mom?
Looks like Kobe Bryant's mom, Pamela, is throwing shade at Vanessa Bryant, claiming Vanessa left her out here struggling and broke. But let's not get it twisted. People close to Pamela say she's not actually living in poverty. She just believes she should be living large, dripped in luxury, simply because she was Kobe's mother. Now she's turning the heat on Vanessa, expecting her to step in and take care of everything. But Vanessa's not staying quiet. She's clapping back hard, letting it be known that Pamela treated Kobe like a straight-up M. Nothing was ever enough. And that's exactly why Kobe started pulling away from his mom years ago. It wasn't just petty family drama, it was real tension. Like when he bought her a whole house and instead of showing love, she complained it wasn't big or flashy enough. Who does that? Then it got even messier. Kobe said no to upgrading the place, and what did Pamela do? She went behind his back and tried to flip his most prized memorabilia for fast cash. Total betrayal. Kobe didn't hold back. He called what his mom did the ultimate betrayal. And now, even though some fans and a few celebs are out here throwing shade at Vanessa for cutting ties with Pamela, the truth is, Vanessa didn't cut her off, Kobe did. Let's get the facts straight. People close to the situation say Pamela never once tried to make peace with her son before his heartbreaking passing. She had years to reach out to say sorry to make things right, but she never did. And now, out of nowhere, she's back in the mix, allegedly dragging Vanessa and acting like it's Vanessa's job to support her financially just because Kobe's no longer here? That's wild. Meanwhile, Vanessa's been focused on raising her daughters and guarding Kobe's legacy like a fortress. She's made it loud and clear. She doesn't owe Pamela anything. Not now, not ever. Honestly, after everything Pamela did to Kobe, it's no surprise a lot of people are standing with Vanessa on this one. But some folks still think Vanessa should maybe extend an olive branch, not for Pamela, but for the sake of Kobe's kids. So what's the real tea? What exactly did Pamela say about Vanessa, and how did Vanessa hit back? Let's break it all down. Kobe's mom, Pamela Bryant, was recently seen grocery shopping out in Las Vegas. She had a smile on her face for the cameras, but insiders are saying it's all for show. Behind closed doors, she's livid. Sources close to her say she's been venting like crazy, telling everyone she feels wronged, claiming she was unfairly cut out of Kobe's estate. And guess who she's pointing fingers at? Yep, Vanessa. Pamela, who's kept a pretty low profile ever since the tragic loss of Kobe and Gianna back in 2020, is now allegedly telling people that her current lifestyle doesn't match what she deserves. She believes she should be living large, like first-class everything, and sources say she expected Vanessa to just pick up the bill and take care of her like Kobe would've. But it's not that simple, and Vanessa's not staying silent about it either. Now that things didn't go her way, Pamela's allegedly been bad-mouthing Vanessa every chance she gets. But Vanessa's team is pushing back hard, and they're making one thing crystal clear. This drama isn't on Vanessa at all. It was Kobe who made the decision to distance himself from his mom long before he passed. Insiders say Kobe never got over the pain of feeling like his mom cared more about money than about him. That wound ran deep, and it never fully healed. Even though there were plenty of chances to make things right, Pamela reportedly never stepped up. No apology. No real effort to fix things with her son before he was gone. Now, Pamela's out here trying to flip the script, making it look like Vanessa's the one keeping her from Kobe's wealth. And some public voices, like Dr. Umar, have taken Pamela's side, calling out Vanessa and claiming she's not doing enough to help Kobe's mom. But Vanessa's camp isn't having it. They're shutting it down fast, saying Kobe had already made his choice a long time ago. This wasn't Vanessa's call, it was his. At the end of the day, Vanessa's just doing what Kobe wanted, plain and simple. And fans aren't staying quiet either. A lot of them are calling out the double standard, saying it's wild that Pamela is suddenly playing the victim when she's the one who pushed Kobe away in the first place. After everything she put him through, the guilt trips, the drama, the shady moves, People are saying Vanessa has every right to keep her distance. She's not being cold, she's protecting Kobe's legacy, just like he would have wanted. Now let's rewind for a second and get into the real backstory behind Kobe's rocky relationship with his parents, because this didn't just pop up out of nowhere. Kobe might have been the superstar of the family, but the basketball blood ran deep way before he hit the court. His dad, Joe Jellybean Bryant, played in the NBA, and even his uncle John Chubby Cox had a run in the league too. So Kobe was practically raised with a ball in his hand, born into that world, surrounded by pros and expected to rise. And rise he did. Kobe's mom, Pamela Bryant, was known more for her social life than any kind of career. Unlike Joe, there's no sign she ever had a professional hustle of her own. She was mostly recognized as Joe Bryant's wife and later on Kobe's mom, a role she clearly thought came with some lifelong perks. Back when Kobe was just a kid, Joe's NBA run hit a shift and he got a gig playing overseas in Italy. So the whole family packed up and moved across the world. That's where Kobe spent most of his childhood, and even though it was a major culture change, he adjusted quick, especially since he was the youngest and only boy in the family. Kobe soaked it all in. He picked up Italian like it was nothing and spoke it fluently. While living in Italy, he fell in love with soccer, but basketball was always the one thing that had his heart. His grandfather used to mail him NBA game tapes, and Kobe would sit for hours watching, rewinding, and studying every move. He wasn't just playing, he was planning. He knew even back then that he was going to turn that passion into something iconic. When he turned 13, the Bryants moved back to the US and settled in Philly, and that's where Kobe really started to lock in on his future. That's when Kobe truly started leveling up, dominating big tournaments, catching major attention, and carving out his own spotlight. And yeah, the rest? That's straight history. But as Kobe rose higher and higher, things behind the scenes with his parents started getting tense, and the cracks in their relationship slowly started to show. Sadly, those cracks never really healed. While there isn't a ton of public detail about how things were before he blew up, most folks assume it was all good, at least on the surface. The real shift came when Kobe got engaged to Vanessa Lane at just 21. That move flipped everything upside down. At the time, Vanessa was just 17, still in high school, and already getting her foot in the door of the entertainment world, making cameos in music videos and building her own shine. But Kobe's parents weren't having it. They made it very clear they didn't approve. They thought he was way too young to lock himself into a serious relationship, especially with so much on the line in his career. But that wasn't the only thing bugging them. A lot of people believe the real tension came down to something deeper, uncomfortable even. Rumors have swirled for years that Pamela and Joe didn't just dislike Vanessa because of her age or career. Some believe it's because she wasn't black. That silent disapproval added fuel to a family divide that never fully mended. Vanessa's background, Mexican and Irish, reportedly played a huge part in the drama. According to a piece published by the Los Angeles Times, the real issue was that Joe felt uncomfortable with Vanessa being Latina and not African American. And on top of that, he didn't like how deeply devoted Kobe was to her, like it rubbed him the wrong way that Kobe was all in for this girl. When Kobe and Vanessa tied the knot in 2001, the family tension hit a whole new level. Joe and Pam didn't even show up to their own son's wedding. And it wasn't just them. Kobe's sisters, Sharia and Shay, also skipped the ceremony. But Kobe wasn't the type to fold under pressure. He didn't let anybody stop him from being with the woman he loved. That disapproval created a major fallout. Got so bad, Kobe ended up completely cutting ties with his family for 2 full years. No contact, no visits, nothing. It wasn't until 2003, when Kobe and Vanessa had their first daughter, Natalia, that he finally reconnected with his parents. But even then, the damage had already been done. Their relationship stayed rocky. And it wasn't just his parents. Kobe also had growing tension with his 2 sisters. Why? Because they were leaning way too heavy on him financially, and he started feeling like everyone around him just saw dollar signs. Eventually, Kobe had to draw the line. He cut off his sisters financially and made it clear they needed to start living on their own terms without depending on his wallet. During a 2016 interview with ESPN, when asked why he made that tough decision, Kobe kept it real. He said, "It was tough for me to do, but it's something you have to do, something you have to be very strong about." He didn't slam them, in fact, he gave them props. He said his sisters were smart, educated women, and he was proud they figured things out on their own. They got jobs, started building their own paths, and finally began to understand who they were outside of being Kobe's sisters. He even pointed out that it helped them stop holding on to resentment, because relying on him was holding them back. But just when things seemed like they might be settling down, all hell broke loose in 2013. Pamela, Kobe's mom, got caught doing something that shocked everybody. She secretly tried to auction off some of Kobe's most personal and priceless memorabilia. We're talking championship rings, high school jerseys, the kind of stuff that meant everything to him. And she didn't even ask for his permission. Kobe wasn't about to let that slide. He moved fast and hit both his parents and the auction house with a full-on lawsuit. He took legal action, making it clear, crossing that line came with serious consequences. See, Kobe had already been more than generous with his mom. He even offered to buy her a house out in Las Vegas, but Pamela wasn't having it. That wasn't good enough for her. She wanted a bigger, flashier home in California with a way higher price tag. According to ESPN, Kobe stepped up and offered her $250,000 to help with the new place. But Pamela turned it down flat. She demanded $450,000 instead. That's when things really took a wild turn. After Kobe said no to shelling out more money for another house, Pamela decided to go behind his back and cash in on his legacy. She struck a deal with Golden Auctions, planning to rake in the exact amount she wanted, $450,000, by selling off his most personal, priceless memorabilia. We're talking championship rings, high school uniforms, and sentimental items with serious emotional value. When Kobe found out, he didn't just get mad, he went straight to court. He hit Pamela and the auction house with a lawsuit saying she had zero right to sell those items. Pamela tried to defend herself, saying Kobe had given her the memorabilia, but he shot that down quick. In the end, the case was settled. Some of the items were returned to Kobe, but 6 of them still ended up getting auctioned off. Total mess. But by that point, the damage between Kobe and his mom was already done. And for him, this wasn't just about money, this was deep. Felt like a total betrayal. Those trophies, those jerseys, they weren't just things collecting dust. They were pieces of his soul, symbols of years of grinding, sacrifice, pain, and glory. And instead of honoring that, Pamela tried to flip it for fast cash. Now jump to July 21st, 2016. Kobe penned a powerful emotional letter to his younger self for the Players' Tribune. And in it, he dropped some real-life wisdom. He warned himself about the dangers of mixing family with business, saying straight up, "Don't go there." He wrote, "The next time I write to you, I may touch on the challenges of mixing blood with business. The most important advice I can give to you is to make sure your parents remain parents and not managers." That hit deep. In another interview, Kobe opened up even more, admitting that his relationship with his parents was a total mess. And what really pushed him over the edge? That stunt with the memorabilia. He was furious that they tried to cash in on everything he worked so hard for, and did it behind his back. Kobe said it himself. "Our relationship is," and then just let it hang in the air. That silence said everything. Kobe once said, "I tell you I'm gonna buy you a very nice home," and the response he got? "That's not good enough." That moment said it all. And what made the whole situation even worse was that Kobe had already done plenty for his parents. He bought them a home, made sure they were financially comfortable. He took care of them like any loyal son would. But for Pamela, it still wasn't enough. She wanted more, so much more that she was willing to cross a major line. She tried to sell Kobe's most treasured memorabilia and cash in on his hard-earned legacy, all without his blessing. That move right there shattered a bond that was already barely holding together. But there were a few rare glimpses of hope, tiny moments that made people think Kobe might reconnect, at least with his dad, Joe. Wayne Slappy, Kobe's former coach and longtime friend, shared one of those rare memories. He told the Daily Mail about a moment at a basketball camp in Santa Barbara, where Kobe and Joe hugged it out. Slappy said, "I just remember being with him up at his camp in Santa Barbara and seeing him hug his dad. You could see they loved each other, from the way they looked at each other, how they smiled." He added, "Every family has issues, disagreements here and there, the healing comes. But this healing, it's going to be hard because he's not here anymore." And just like that, the chance to make things right was gone forever. When it comes to Kobe's mom, Pamela, there's no real sign that their relationship was ever repaired before his heartbreaking passing. Even after all the time that passed since she went behind his back and tried to sell his prized memorabilia, sources close to the situation say Pamela never apologized, not even once, face to face. She stayed stubborn, locked into her ways, and made zero effort to make things right with her son. And from the outside looking in, it's pretty clear Kobe carried that pain with him. He did everything for his parents, gave them a home, made sure they were financially set. He went above and beyond. But Pamela's actions made it painfully obvious. No matter how much he gave, it would never be enough for her. That's why so many fans are siding with Vanessa Bryant right now. Kobe was the one who chose to step back from that relationship. He set those boundaries, and he never showed any real interest in fixing it. So it's only natural that Vanessa wouldn't feel like she needs to pick up the pieces, especially when the man she loved and lost chose to walk away himself. Kobe kept that distance for a reason. Why would Vanessa suddenly take on the burden he chose to let go of? What do you think? Does Vanessa owe Pamela anything, especially financially? Or is Pamela out here doing too much and Vanessa's just keeping Kobe's wishes alive? Let us know your thoughts in the comments and stick around, because what's coming next is even wilder.